That's cool. Oops. Let's fix that. All right. There we go. Hey guys, how are you? Good evening to you. I just got back from dinner out. Oops. There we go. All right. Okay. Were you guys in Guitar Guy ATX's room? Hey, Pappy Melon. Oh, you're not exactly first. You're close. Yeti is first. Deadpool was second, actually. I'm good, Deadpool. I didn't really care for the dinner that I was just at, though. Or like, I didn't care for the dinner, and I didn't care for the date. It was like at a new swanky place. That didn't really bother me. But it was like they were running behind, of course, because they were new. And, you know, it's just like that typically happens when you go to a new restaurant, especially here in town. And the date that I was with was got bent out of shape about where we got or where we got seated, and it was just like a whole thing. But it's just like, here's the thing: we had a 7 o'clock reservation, and they sat us about, I don't know, a quarter after 7. But we had a 7 o'clock reservation, but they sat somebody, which was a party of 4. We were only a party of 2. They sat them ahead of us, and they had a 7:15 dinner reservation, and we had a 7. They sat them before us, and my date got really pissed, which I understood. And then when they were like, we don't have a table ready for you, all we have is this high top, I should have said, can we see the high top first before we said okay? I was just kind of going with it, because I figured she probably wants to just get seated and eat it, but she hated the table, so I was just like, all right, let's go. Then they come back to us and be like, yeah, the next table we're not going to have ready for 45 minutes. And that's when my date fucking saw red. And you know what? Instead of me getting uppity for once, I just sat back and let her deal with it. And boy, did she tee off on these motherfuckers. Wow, I felt bad for them. They were looking at me like, are you with her? I'm like, oh no, you're on your own. This is a blind date. I'm out with her for the first time. You're on your fucking own, man. You did this shit. You're gonna have to answer for it now. Yeah, I won't be going to Valentine's with this person. Then we actually got seated like within the 5 minutes of her making a huge fuss. We have this table right over here for you. Oh, okay, yeah. And then I asked the waitress, I'm like, what's better, this pasta or like, you know, something else. And she goes, well, the pasta is so good that the employees are not even allowed to order it when we're here. Hang on. Anyways, so the waitress says to me, after I asked how's this pasta versus the other thing, she's just like, the pasta's, I already said, the pasta's great. The employees are not allowed to order it when they're at work because it's so good. I'm like, all right, I'll try that. And I read the description of the pasta. It was just like pechiri pasta or pechiri pasta. And it was like oven baked with ricotta, mozzarella, blah, blah, blah. It sounded really appealing. And then there was like arugula. When it came to the table, it was like an arugula salad with some kind of lemon dressing. I hate lemon. With some kind of lemon dressing. They didn't say it had lemon in it. I'm glad I didn't have a food allergy. Yeah, this thing was like a salad on top of. I'm like, what the fuckery is this? I should say, what the fuck is this? What kind of fuckery is going on here? Is what I meant to say. Well, it was it was supposed to be a French brasserie, and when you're in like I've been to Paris, France. Okay, when you go to a brasserie, they'll tell you like when you make the reservation, prepare for your ass to be seated for about an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. Like it's a dinner, it's in the evening, all right? They're like an hour. There's no brasserie in the world that you sit at a table for an hour and leave. It doesn't exist. It's like, it'd be like the fast food version of a brasserie, is what it'd be. And it's just not that. Anyways, so, whatever. I'm like, I get my food and I'm just like, wow, there's like a whole entire arugula salad with lemon dressing on top of my pasta bake thing here. And I'm like not having it. And of course, you know, they were kissing our asses the whole entire way because my date made an entire stink. Like they gave us like 2 free appetizers when they sat us. And they were like checking on us the whole fucking time. It was kind of ridiculous. It was like a little overkill. Hey Nick, how you doing? Oh, it's Nick Kirby. I like that. So Heat Above by Greta Van Fleet. All right, I'll probably play some Led Zeppelin in lieu of that. All right. Burrito Fruit Loops. How are you, Alex? What's happening? How you doing? Excuse me. So I call the waitress over and I'm like, yeah, I'm not really digging this because there's lemon in it, and I didn't read anything about lemon in the. She's just like, okay. She's just like, do you want anything else? And I'm like, I'll just have an order of the French onion soup because my date had that in with the appetizers that we got for free because we're both eyed the French onion soup. Hey, Brianna, how you doing? And so I just got that and was just like, I wasn't really wowed out by the place. It was way overbooked. when you walked in, it was like standing room only, and I'm like, this is the guy who opened this restaurant. His name is Sam Fox. He's a big restaurateur here in Arizona, especially in the Phoenix metro area. So my feeling is like, dude, you've been doing this long enough to know what you should do with your front room, and you never do it, dude. He has like the worst waiting areas in any restaurants I've ever seen. Like, he totally makes it unwaitable for human beings. Like, dude, seriously, you've been doing this long enough to fucking know better by now. To put some couches up front and some shit so some people can fucking sit the fuck down while they're waiting extravagantly long to sit at your fucking lame-ass brasserie. Sorry. But it was kind of lame. Don't know that. Sorry, excuse me. Mad Acoustic 1. Alright. Hey, Barry, what's happening? Hi, how are you? I'm trying to read your name. It's a little, Dora Santa Cruz. Got it. How you doing? Good to have all you newbies. Please like and subscribe. Oh, Dora, I've seen you before. Alright. And no, I didn't get charged for the pasta. But I can guarantee you that I'll probably be waking up in the middle of the night eating a bowl of cereal tonight. Expectations, what are those? I don't have expectations about anything at this point. I'm like, especially after reading like Kathleen Kennedy saying like Star Wars fans were the lowest part of my, you know what, bitch? Thank you for fucking up an entire saga. You have no fucking idea what a true Star Wars fan wants to fucking see. You didn't have any idea from the get-go, and they waited this long for you to basically flush the entire franchise down the fucking toilet. Like, and not only did you flush that franchise down the toilet, you fucked Indiana Jones 6 Ways from Sunday as well. I mean, let's call some spades here. Jesus Christ. Has anybody ever seen another human being flush a $5 billion film franchise down the fucking toilet? I haven't. But kudos to Kathleen Kennedy. Way to fucking go. Bravo, lady. You're a fucking pop icon culture status. You know what? When you look up a definition of fuckery, they should show a picture of Kathleen Kennedy's fucking picture next to the word fuckery. Because that's what she is. A whole lot of fuckery. Can I play Master of Puppets? No, man. Now Dave Filoni's got to clean up that fucking shithole. It's like a ginormous fucking dumpster fire to the umpteenth degree, man. And not only is the dumpster on fire, it's fucking going down the hill at 50 miles per hour. That's how that shit's going right now. Like, I didn't even really bother watching the Darth Maul thing. And I love Darth Maul. I was like, George, why'd you kill the coolest character since Boba Fett, dude? And what did Filoni do? He brought him back in the Clone Wars. And you know what? That was like some of the best episodes of the Clone Wars of all time. I would love to hear what Dave Filoni has to say about Kathleen Kennedy behind closed doors. I really, really fucking would. Man, he started talking about Star Wars, getting all angry and shit, and then, like, we just left. See what the 10 to 15 of you missed out on because you left? You missed out on hearing the fucking Freebird. Oh, yeah. Long live Alan Collins and the rest of the group. Can you play Eugene's Trick Bag? No. But in all fairness, does Eugene know Larry Soulcactus' Trick Bag? I doubt it. Not much, Zach Smith. What's up with you? And how are you, Toy Machine? With a name like Toy Machine, you have to have a fun life. Is there any truth to that? Oh, Glenn, my next live will be tomorrow at noon. It'll be normal time. Well, wait. Oh shit, tomorrow's Saturday, isn't it? It won't be at noon. Tomorrow is Saturday. Well, I'll be doing the Cartoons and Cereal live stream. It'll be at 10 a.m. So it'll be 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. if you're in Texas, 12 p.m. if you're in Eastern Standard Time, or it'll be 9 a.m. if you're in California. No, I don't know Master of Puppets. I'm sorry. It's on all request hotline. Please read the pinned comment. I thought I had a moderator here. Please don't spam the channel. When you spam the channel, you're harassing me. And you're harassing the other people that are in the channel. So please don't do that. Zach Smith, how is my night going? It's filled with all kinds of fuckery. Kerosene cucumbers, I like that. Oh, what's that, Yeti? Were you always comfortable playing solos in your band? Like, were you always prioritized to lead the band? Which band? My band? The Killing Floor band and my Soulcactus band? Well, the Killing Floor band was put together because I had an audition with a famous Major League Baseball player that had a record label and a recording studio, and he was signing acts, and I had an in with him, and I got a face-to-face audition, and he loved my music, he loved me, and I told him I had to get a band together to make the whole thing realized with the songs and everything, because I was just playing them bits of guitar. And I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, there's lyrics and everything, but he got it. He was just like, dude, you're like fucking Jimi Hendrix. I'm like, yeah, not close, dude. Um, he's just like, no, let's get you going. So that was that. And when I assembled the band, by the time that I had like a full big band audition, the band at that point in time was not ready to be looked at by a label. Um, and I had to tell him, I'm like, I need more time. It's just not ready yet. And I'm like, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it at that time. It was like, I was coming up on the audition, and I realized, like, with this incarnation of the band, like, I didn't have the girl singer. We had a male singer who was like who had a lot of stage fright issues and whatever else. Like the guy could sing, but he just had a lot of mental issues. Um, I'm not really 100% sure what his damage was, but I had to let him go because he couldn't do it. He couldn't perform the way that I needed him to perform and step up. And, I knew whoever I had to have up there, they had to bring it. They had to be Robert Plant, Roger Daltrey. They needed to be like those people. I needed a serious force up there because I knew, like, with me and the other guitar player, like, okay, that was like an onslaught of guitar at that point in time, and that was a lot of firepower. So I needed vocals to match that kind of firepower. Um, so unfortunately, I had to tell him I need to bail on the audition, and I said I understand if this like kind of ruins the chance of me getting it in, but I really need more time with this. By the time I got it actually ready to where the band was ready to be seen and heard, that opportunity was gone. And that guy, are you ready for this? He wound up selling all his acts on his label. You know who he sold them to? Fucking Babyface. I could have had a recording contract with Babyface. How's that for a kick in the nuts? Because I didn't have the right singer at the right time. That's why. So I lost that opportunity. So that was the closest I've ever come to having a recording contract. The other close thing I came to was having a publishing deal by ASCAP. For those of you who don't know, there's two major publishing deals that you could get as a musician being a songwriter. One is you work for ASCAP. The other is you work for BMI. ASCAP is the better of the two, in my opinion. I think the rates are a little bit better at ASCAP. I could be full of shit. I don't remember. It's been a long fucking time. But I knew there was a reason that I wanted to go with ASCAP over BMI. So I got hooked up. A customer of mine heard my CD, and he calls me on the phone, and he's just like, hey, I have a friend at ASCAP. She's kind of a big deal. I want you to send your CD to her. do you have anything else other than this CD? I said, yeah, I have a few songs still rolling around in the like I purposely held things back, like, well, Yeti, you've heard it before. Hey, Mr. Bubby V. And the, God. What the hell was I just saying? I just totally, like, lost my train of thought because I saw Mr. Bubby V. The band's name was Killing Floor. Anyways, so that opportunity was good. The ASCAP thing. My customer tells me who to send it to. And I think, like, I'm listening to this guy. I'm like, you want me to send it to this person at ASCAP on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood, California? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, dude, you're so full of shit. You don't know this fucking person, whatever. So I humor him. I do exactly what he tells me to do. I send it off with a note. Dear so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. Your friend so-and-so told me to send this to you. A couple weeks go by. I kid you not. I'm living in Indiana now. This is like 2007. I get a phone call. I pick up the phone. I'm like, hello? Yeah, hi, is this Larry Kanefsky? I'm like, yeah. I wasn't going by Larry Soulcactus right then and there. And my CD is Lawrence Kanefsky anyways. Meeting you. So they got it. She's just like, we've received your CD. I'm so-and-so's assistant. I'm like, from ASCAP. You can imagine that I was shitting a brick on the other end going, are you fucking kidding me? You're who? From ASCAP? And you work for... Yeah, I work for your friend's boss. Oh, yeah, I got it. I'm following. Yes. My boss is going to review your CD. If we like what we hear, we're going to give you a call back. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Never heard anything back. But I know she listened to the fucker. So, those are like my two, like, almost got there stories. I don't have a third one. My third one was I opened up a online guitar gear business and primarily focused on amps and effects, and wound up co-designing an amp with a boutique amplifier manufacturer and got my signature amp made and sold it all around the world. And there's about 150 of them floating out there in the world, including the one I got here. All right? So, like, that'll last on forever. Well, when I'm dead, somebody's gonna be playing a Soulcactus signature amp that has my fucking character on it and has my fucking name on the back of it. So, for me, that's my legacy. And I was featured in 2 national music publications because of it. ToneQuest Report, Vintage Guitar Magazine. That's 2 more than a lot of you. CD, I realize that anybody can make it. However, not everybody can make a CD because a lot of fucking work goes into making a CD more than you realize. And it takes money. So if you don't have the money, which is means, and you can't get the personnel to do it, there's a problem. You're not going to be making a record anytime soon. Hey, Skate, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Christopher, what's happening? Thank you. No, Mr. Bubby V, it was with ASCAP. Jordan Rock Evans, how are you? Good to see you. What was the first Eric Clapton song I learned? Cocaine, I think. I mean, it's J.J. Cale song, but I mean, like, I think that was it. Because a friend of mine was learning it, and he showed it to me. Hey, Alex. KC Rock, what's happening? Yeah, only when I make sticker money, Mr. Bubby. Thank you. I'm trying to get to my 11,000, but I'd really like to get to 12,000. I just passed the what was it, 10,800 this morning. What was the first Led Zeppelin song you learned? Oh, that was Whole Lot of Love. And I just learned the... But it was like, just to get that down, the... Mr. Bubby V, is Dave still going on his channel? I bet he is. He usually doesn't finish till about 10 my time, 11 his time. Yeah, he plays for like 4 hours, so 7 to 11. It's like a gig for him. Fucking long ass gig. Thanks, bud. It just doesn't matter. Woody the Wabbit. Woody the Wabbit. What's your name? Rudy Gerner. No, Woody the Wabbit. We're going to be waking up and having a nice gruel for breakfast here at Camp North Star. Up across the way at Camp Mohawk. Well, their servants are going to be bringing them their cafe au lait and their buttered croissants in bed. Mr. Bubby, I think I went on the worst dinner date this evening. Holy shit on a shingle. I'm not drinking coffee anymore, folks. I just switched to Bailey's right off the bat as soon as I got home. I was like, fuck, man. Can you believe that shit? Mr. Bubby, what do you want to hear, man? Other than my Bill Murray imitation. I think he can hear you, Ray. He's an ugly little spud, isn't he? I think he can hear you, Ray. And my new legacy starts here. Thank you, Mr. Bubby. I appreciate that. It's 7:50 p.m. It ain't 7:50 p.m. for me, man. 9:50. I'm thinking about going to bed in like an hour. I probably won't go to bed, though. Dreaming is goated. That is great, dude. YG Red 400. Sup, bro? Hey, do you like Red Dead Redemption, man? Norwood 225. Make it meow? I don't know how to make it meow. I can make it scratch. They don't like that. She sleeps 4 feet above the covers. Wow, look at all the junk food. Oh man, what about Undead Nightmare? That was like kind of fucked up at the beginning of that story. I was like, oh man, they all turned to fucking zombies, man. That was uncool. He had to, like, Marston, he shot his whole family, man. They're all zombies. He had to kill all of them. That wasn't cool, man. You like RD2? You know, Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants to play Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2 if they make a thing of it. I would watch it. If he played Arthur Morgan, I'd watch that shit. He's not the only one that wants to play Arthur Morgan, though. That's the problem. So whoever helms that shit's going to have a serious choice on their hand. Rock and roll? You got it, man. Let's see. What was it? Right? Cat scratch fever. Was it? No, I want, dude. No, that won't happen. I won't learn the Star Wars theme song. That's funny. Yeah, but like, here's the thing. Young Red 400. Rockstar is good at making a sequel, and their sequels are usually bigger and better than their previous game. Yeah? I think we can all agree on that. I mean, I was there when I walked into a GameStop and I saw GTA 3 running for the first time, and I was like, holy shit. That made me buy a PS2. Just like Halo, seeing Halo run on the original Xbox, I was like, I'm buying that shit. That looks like a blast. Both of them were a blast. So was Medal of Honor Frontline. Those were like my top 3 video games that year. Snowblower. Yeah, dude. I'm glad. You guys, some of you guys are going to get hit really hard. So I want you guys to be really safe out there if you got to shovel snow or whatever. It's going to be thicker and heavier than you think it is. So be careful with your tickers, all right? Hey, Sticks Dear Steve, how are you, man? Oh, was it opposed to like some wacky Italian guy working for the mob in GTA 3? Yeah. What I thought was out of control. The greatest thing about GTA 5 was the prelude, the beginning at the bank robbery. That shit was awesome. I loved that. I thought that was great. After that, when they went to the 2 African American gangbangers or whatever, and like, dude, that language was too much for me. So if I felt a little uncomfortable or offended, can you imagine? I mean, you guys all hear me every day, right? You know what I'm capable of. The GTA 5 is like my show on steroids times 1,000. listening to those two guys after the bank robbery scene. I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm not cool with this. Like that, I played a little bit more, and I was just like, maybe not my game. I'm not saying they didn't do their job correctly, man. I'm just saying how it made me feel. But I know what a big game it is. I just like, my thing is, I can't suck a lot of time into open world games anymore. I don't have the patience for them, and I certainly don't have the time. I need to play like 15 to 30 minutes of like Sniper Elite 4 and be good with moving on with the rest of my day, or like play some kind of side scroller like Castlevania, or some shoot 'em up, beat 'em up thing, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge or something like that. Or was it Marvel's Secret Invasion, that new beat 'em up game that was made by the same developers as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game? You play World of Warships, not World of Warcraft? Oh, that's awesome, Mr. Bubby V. I like all those old school games. I like Atari. I like Pac-Man. You know, I like throwing in like the Atari classics or the Sega classics or the Nintendo classics, because I can play a few of those games for like you can play Asteroids or Berserk and a few others and be like, I'm good for 15 or 20 minutes, like, because I don't need to wait for loading times, or like setting up a story or whatever. Like, it doesn't take anything to get into. It's like, push the start button. Boop, that's it. Okay, we're in the game. Let's play. Pool table, yes. Darts, another great example of just, or pinball machine. Mr. Bubby, I had a Bally's pinball machine growing up when I was a kid back in Chicago. I spent so many hours playing that thing. I loved it. Hey, Evan Kelly, how are you? We're talking about video games, man. So you came at the right time. Steve, you gotta go with Asteroids? Alright. Alright. We need to talk. Favorite vintage video game? It looks like Stick Steer Steve's going with two great, Asteroids and Contra. Go, dude. I'm gonna go with Space Invaders and Berserk, which is tough on me because I love Joust. Alright, next person. Who's got it? You can pick two retro games from the 80s. I'm going to specify it has to be from the 80s. Galaxian, good call, Mr. Bubby Fee. Super Mario, definitely. You mean Super Mario Brothers? Bobble Bobble, good call, Evan Kelly. I like it. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that. Jordan Evan rocks. Thank you. Dig Dug, great choice. I also like Miss Pac-Man a lot. Donkey Kong 2. How about Moon Patrol? Any Moon Patrol? You were a Spyro kid? Well, that was the next decade. That was PlayStation 1. And Leisure Suit Larry. Okay, well, that wasn't an arcade game, Evan. That was a computer game, and it's funny that you threw out Leisure Suit Larry. I had a friend. I still have him as a friend, okay? I played at his wedding. And I played Cocaine by Eric Clapton at his wedding, and Mustang Sally. And I think we might have played Cross. I can't remember. I was drunk off my ass. Anyways, that's fun. I should put that video up for you guys to watch. Yes? Larry had a ponytail back then. Okay, fair enough. Pink Floyd, we'll get there, man. Leisure Suit Larry was a computer game, dude. Anyways, my friend, that I met when I was in high school called me Leisure Suit Larry. And I was just like, why the fuck are you calling me that? He goes, you don't know about the computer game? I'm like, no. He's like, dude, it's like a pervy R-rated game. I didn't know about it till he told me, and I was just like, and he uses my first name. He goes, yeah, dude, you're a little perv, and you're... I'm like, well, I guess video game imitates life, or life imitates video game? I don't know. Wait. That's awesome. I don't have my original Xbox or copy of Halo Combat Evolved, but I do have a lot of I do have some Xbox games still that are original, and I still have some Xbox 360 games. I actually have a lot of those, and Series X. It's a shame that they kind of like bailed on it. PS5 still going without any really great games. What are you talking about, dude? Relax, Sony fanboys. California Games, that was a good one. There's like Track and Field, though, on Nintendo, right? Tetris was a great game. Still is. Anybody play Puyo Puyo Tetris? The first one, not the second one. That was on Switch. Anybody like Missile Command? How about any old like Activision games off of Atari 2600 like Pitfall or River Raid? I always had strong fondness for both of those games. I like Pitfall a lot. And Skate and Die. I was a huge fan of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 when it came out on the PS1. Saying cuss words does, and God doesn't like that. That's all right. I don't like it when you write out the word God. It's offensive to me. So I'm going to ask you that you kindly fuck off and get the fuck out of my room. How's that? And I can give a fuck about what God doesn't like or does like. At this point in my life, he can go fuck himself. How's that? And you can take that to the bank. Or do I need to go off on organized religion for you right now, too? Because I can. Nacho Legos. How do you get that? How do you get that name? Last of Us 1, great. I don't like I won't play Last of Us 2, man. They killed Joel. Fuck that. Dude's on the wrong platform, totally, Mr. Bubby. You're welcome. How can you come in here and think that you're in a curse-free environment? Like, clearly you've never seen my show before. Because I make South Park bigger, uncut, and longer look like it's PG-13. That's great. Thanks, Streamings is goated. That's great. Yeah, I agree. Wait, you have Nacho Legos? Is that such a thing? Can you eat Nacho Legos? Is that a set? Did I miss something? Because I was pretty sure that Legos was focused on, like, putting out all those flower set shits so that guys could get their, like, girlfriends into playing Legos with them. Look, honey, there's, like, roses that are Legos. You can build them. They're like flowers, but they're Legos. Does that get you interested in playing with these toys with me? No? Oh. Okay. Yeah. Good job, Lego. Like, who came up with that brain idea? I would have loved to have sat in the boardroom for that idea. Let's start making flowers with Legos. I would have seriously given that person, like, the worst look in the industry. I would have been like, you know what? I don't want to hear another word out of your mouth, like, ever. Flowers as Legos? It's got to be the worst fucking idea I've ever fucking heard in my fucking life. Next caller, you're on the air. Yeah, that hurts. Legos hurt. On barefoot? Dude, I don't think that. I think that's part of your dreams, man. That ain't never gonna be a reality for anybody. Not even if you practice what's in the Quran. Sorry to say, that ain't gonna be real, man. And I took Middle Eastern studies. I know all about the Quran, and I'm gonna tell you that shit ain't real. But if you believe it, more power to you. I believe in the Force, but that doesn't make it work. Thank you, Mr. Bubby V. I appreciate that. That's who made the decision for logo. Oh my god. I'm wrong. This is when I get taken off the air. So is Mr. Bubby V, was Dave still going? Yeah? Okay, Yeti. Sounds good. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, bro. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Cartoons and Zero streams. Don't miss it. I forgot tomorrow was Saturday already. I like, man, the interview with Leo really threw my into it was such a great conversation, but it really like threw off my entire week. But that's now going to have to be a thing because the conversations about gigs and guitars is taking off, and I've got guests all throughout April now. So it's a done deal. The train's left the station, and this is going to be a routine thing every week. You guys are going to get a different conversations about gigs and guitars with somebody. So kudos to you guys for making it a success. Thank you. And you guys can see Dave, Guitar Guy ATX, this Monday. He's going to be the guest at 2 p.m. Mountain Time on the channel. Guitar Guy ATX is going to be here for a conversation about gigs and guitars with Larry Soulcactus. So it'll be 3 p.m. Texas time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. If you in California or up that way. I'm in Arizona, man. We just have some rain. That's about it. That's all the bad weather we're getting. It got a little cool, like down into the 60s. I don't know what it'll be like tomorrow. Probably more of the same. If everybody's getting like the snow and whatever, we'll just get more like overcast and rain. If it does get cold enough, Evan, the mountain peaks behind my house here, I still need to put up that photo. We'll get snow on the top of the mountain caps, and that looks really cool. I can see them from my second story window. Remember me? I sure do. You were the one that's named Next Guy Edits. Oh, you mean wasn't it Commando Reloaded or something like that? The guy had the arm Super Commando or whatever, like the Bionic Commando. Space Invader, Donkey Kong, Astra, Batman the movie? Okay. It's raining at Dave's tonight? Well, dude, he's in Texas. I'm in Arizona. It's raining here. The guy who asked about BF2? Okay. Yeah. Well, they said Atlanta's gonna get some, maybe. I love the old Looney Tunes, the Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam. I like Foghorn and Leghorn. I'm a chicken hook! I say, you're doing it all wrong, boy. I like Marvin the Martian, too. Oh, you enjoyed Little Nightmares? That's cool. I liked, Evan, did you ever check out a game called Gylt? Gylt? It was on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Switch. It was like you play as this little girl. It's third person. Here, I'll show it to you. I thought it was great. I didn't finish it, but I played pretty far. It's not a particularly long game, but I did like it a lot. It's by Tensura. Yeah, it comes with like sticker sheet. So let's see. So you play as this little girl, and you're looking for your cousin, and basically like the town is like haunted, deserted, whatever. You have to go into your like elementary school and find her, and these are like it's sort of stealthy, but Evan, did you ever play Alan Wake 1 on the Xbox by chance, or Xbox One? Or, well, it came out on PS4 and PS5, but you have a flashlight to like burn enemies away. Like you kill them with your flashlight. I mean, because you don't have a pistol. You're a little girl. You know, they're not going to give you a pistol in this game, but you have a flashlight to like vaporize your enemies with. So they use that as your weapon. So it's like gives you like the Alan Wake kind of thing, and it's really cool. And you just have to like sneak around these guys and try and find your cousin where she's been kidnapped or whatever. But it's a really cool game. I don't keep anything numbered. Luigi's Haunted Mansion is a classic. Do you like the second and the third one as well? Oh. Well, you can get... I mean, you can get this on Switch. Or PS4 or PS5. I mean, if you get it on PS4, it'll work on your PS5. Everybody's preparing to hunker down everywhere, it seems like. It doesn't just seem like... I think some places are going to get it a lot worse than other places, it sounds like. Dude, this is it. You want to see some great indie games, dude? That's one. Alright, I can't show you everything what I got, but I got a stack here, okay? Ender Lilies. The music in this is so beautiful. it makes me fucking cry. Like, sometimes I put this game on just to hear the music going. I'm not playing it. I just want to hear the music. That's how beautiful the soundtrack is in this game. Ender Lilies. This is called Record of Lotus War. It's a longer title. Deedlit and Wonder Labyrinth. This is amazing. This game is absolutely fucking phenomenal. I didn't finish it, but I got probably about 60% of the way through, and I got stuck, and I put it down. Again, another sort of Metroidvania game. These two are Metroid. These last three are all Metroidvanias, but Axiom Verge, music in this is amazing. Sound effects. It's unbelievable that one guy did this. I think his name is Thomas Happ. It's Badland Games, but the developer's name is Thomas Happ. And he's just one dude, and he made this game. It's fucking amazing. Carrion, if you guys want to be a big, disgusting blob that breaks out in a lab and just terrorizes the shit out of all its employees, this is like being the alien in a horror movie. But you get to be the alien, right? So you get to go around and attack and eat all kinds of things. Really wild game. Very cool. Blazing Chrome. You can play this with a buddy. Couch co-op. This is like a new version of Contra. I actually like this better. I think it's a lot cooler. Still fucking hard. But not as hard as a Contra game. My Friend Pedro. Anybody play this before? If you like bullet time, like Max Payne shit, man, is this game great. Because just the gameplay with the bullet time, the acrobatics and stuff that you could do in this game versus just Max Payne is miles beyond Max Payne. This game's great. So those are some of my game recommendations for independent games. There is one other that I like a lot. There's actually three more. Grim Guardians Demon Purge. This game's great. Hunt Down. Another great type of Contra game. This one, the setting is Escape from New York. In fact, there's a couple of Snake Plissken's weapons in this game. That's cool. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania Edition. This game is great. It regenerates levels as you play. So you're never having the same playthrough twice. And there's all these varying pathways and shit. I spent probably a couple months just playing this all the time. I mean, that's why I tend to game on Switch the most, because obviously it's portable. I can take it into the living room or upstairs or wherever around the house. And a lot of these games, you don't need to be online to play them. They play offline. So when the shit goes down, eventually, right, you'll be able to still play these small independent games, independent developer games. Whereas some of the other games as services or whatever, like your Fortnites and your Call of Duties or whatever, it's just not going to be around forever, man. They can't fucking keep the servers going forever. That costs money. They ain't going to do that. Eventually, they'll have to shut that shit down. I just saw a new report that Sony's going to come out with their PlayStation 6. They're holding it off until 2029. I'm thinking, dude, you might as well hold that shit off until 2035, because it doesn't fucking make a difference right now. The game industry is about to fucking collapse in on itself. It's not doing well. The only thing that's surviving right now is retro gaming. Have you guys seen that Nintendo 3DSs and like DS Lites and whatever, like especially the 3DS, the XLs, they've all been going for like somewhere between like $300 and $450 on the eBay used market right now. Yeah, they're getting as much money as a Switch 2, more or less. It's ridiculous. I don't know what the deal is, but there's something out there in the Atmos where people are just discovering the DS and the DS XL for the first time or whatever. I think it's crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna sell like my DS XL and my DS just because it's popping off right now. I mean, I don't play them. I could, but Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim is actually a Sega game, but they put it on the Super Nintendo too. So there's two different versions there. I liked Earthworm Jim too. It's a hard game. I've got it on my Sega collection here. Like the other things I talk about playing here. Let's see. I play this a lot. Sniper Elite 4. This is like my main jam. But this is the other thing I like to play a lot. Atari 50. Because it's got like a shit ton of Atari arcade classic games. And 2600. And like 5200. And even some other Atari console stuff on here. It's got a lot of content. Space Invaders, just because I grew up with it. This was a huge arcade game when I was growing up, along with a lot of you, right? And Genesis classics. Here's Earthworm Jim, along with multiple Sonics, Gunstar Heroes, Toe Jam and Earl, whatever. Hey, Dutchy RD2 RD2. Not R2RD or R2D2. I do remember you, Business Vader. How are you? The other thing that I will throw on is the you guys seen the like Star Wars Heritage game package? On that are like some of my favorite Star Wars games, like Knights of the Old Republic, Republic Commando, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, or Jedi Knight, Jedi 2, Outcast, and I think some of the other ones are on there, like Episode 1 Pod Racer and some other stuff. Nice. I'm good. I'm just hanging out with my pals here. I never played Star Wars: The Old Republic, Wolf Gaming Agency. That one was the big MMO online one, right? I had interest in it. I never got to play it though. I'd love to see them bring it to like. They won't. I don't know what's gonna happen. What I would really like, if I was calling the shots at Lucasfilm Ltd, I would like Shadows of the Empire to be remade. And like RE, or like not on the RE engine, on Real Engine 4. I would like that game remade with modern controls from modern platforms. I think that would be like fucking amazeballs. Because you got everything in that game. You get to pilot the snow speeder and take down the AT-ATs. You get to run around Echo Base and shoot snowtroopers. You get to fly through the asteroid field and blast asteroids and TIE fighters and TIE bombers away. Like, all that shit was amazing. When that game came out in 96, dude, it's no wonder that game was like one of the Nintendo's, like, they had that platinum seller or whatever. That and Rogue Squadron. Those two games I'd like to see remade and brought over to current gen consoles. I know they're making Wolfenstein 3. I like the Wolfenstein series. I have Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus on Switch 2, and I have the other ones on my Xbox here. I like BJ Blazkowicz. Blazkowicz. Whatever. Blazkowicz. Blazkowicz. Oh, Home Noodler. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Jedi Hobby, Castlevania. Yeah, I like Castlevania. I have the oops. These are great if you've not played them. As you can see, I have a huge game collection. The first one, the Castlevania collection, right? This has all the early NES, Nintendo Castlevanias on it. Then you got the Castlevania Game Boy Advance collection. That's got 4 games on it. That's cool. And then the last Castlevania Dominus collection, which was just released not too long ago. This is cool. This again has 3 Castlevanias and Haunted Castle, which is the arcade version of Castlevania. Very cool. And if you guys want a modern Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, try Battle Princess Madeline. This game is fucking hard as hell. But it's so cool. Great pixelated art. And I have to say, all those games that I showed off all have amazing pixelated art. That's one thing I like about the small independent game developers. They use some great pixelated art. Thank you, Jedi. May the Force be with you. Yeah, those are all on Switch. That's my primary. That's probably like my biggest game collection right now. I probably have... it feels like over 100 physical games for Switch, but I don't think it's that many now. I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Bubby V. I used to run GameStops. There's a couple promotional materials that I have here. One's a Star Wars Republic Commando. I'm gonna show it right there. That one. Yeah, that poster right there. I was assistant store manager when I got that back in 2003, 2004, right in there. I worked Halo 2 midnight launch because I was friendly with the guys that ran that GameStop, which was like local to me. So they were like, "Hey, we need some help for the Halo 2. Do you want to work? Come work it." I'm like, "Sure, I got nothing better to do." So I just came, and they're like, "You're gonna work the door. So you're going to let people in and you're going to check people out with their receipt and whatever. So, let X amount of people in at a time and then check everybody that comes out." I'm like, all right, not a big deal. It was cool. I had a lot of fun that night. Then I got to go home and play Halo 2 just like everybody else at like 1:30 in the morning. That was cool when things were like that. They don't do anything like that anymore. It's unfortunate. They don't have midnight releases anymore. The last time I worked for GameStop as manager and had a midnight release, first of all, it was Eastern Standard Time, so they let them come in the store here at 9. When the clocks changed. If it was 2 hours, then it'd be like 10 here and midnight there. I had maybe like 4 or 5 people. Had to keep the store open because those people were there to get their games. But it wasn't a lot of them. I think that was the last one I worked. and they slowly dissipated after that. I'm not a Pokemon fan, excuse me. Up, down, down, left, right, A star. Yeah, that's for Jedi Outcast, dude. Ready? Something like that. Or Copy turned into collection. Something like that. I mean, like when I was a manager for Borders, man, and I had access to like my CD discount was pretty decent. Oh man, did I take advantage of that? That's when like my music collection grew exponentially. Every time that I worked at someplace like that, where I could get CDs or games at a discount, I took advantage of that. Contra's great. It's just hard as hell. You collect vinyl? I used to have a big vinyl collection. I sold it a long time ago. And now I just have a big CD collection. Napster? Yeah, Napster. You like me like from the Italian Job? Napster? Seth Green. If he gets to be Handsome Rob, I want to be the Napster. If you call him Handsome Rob, you can call me the Napster. Easy there, Seth Green. URSUS? I don't know what that is. Oh, thanks, man. You mean suspicious baby? Hunter Schweizer. No. I only know Seek and Destroy when I go to the shooting range. Well, Mr. Bubby, like, vinyl's been popping off the last few years, right? But it's kind of calmed down, right? Like, I have a record store that's over by my hairstylist in the same center, and then I'll pop into that place every now and again. But records have become very, very, very expensive, man. So it's hard for me to like digest like buying something that I have on CD already on record. I know it's like nice to listen to vinyl and it's got a warmer sound than CD and I appreciate it, but like at the end of the day I'm just gonna like listen to what's convenient to me. So I'm gonna pull up something here on my laptop and put in my earbuds and just or listen to the stereo. You know, I'm not like my record player is in my living room and sometimes I play records and listen to the music in there, but more times than not I'm in here because everything's in here. And it's hard to play guitar to records because if you start pumping the volume, what happens? Vibrations start hitting and then the needle starts jumping. So that's a problem. That doesn't happen when you play along with a CD. You can pump that shit as loud as you want. There won't be any needle jumping. They've ruined the, yeah? Really? Are they, let me ask you this, is it for just like exclusive vinyls or like, you know what I mean? Like limited package stuff or limited prints? Or are these just run of the mill everyday bullshit? That's sweet. Oh, okay. Are they when you buy the imports, Mr. Bubby, is the vinyl thicker? Like, is it made thicker? Is it heavier when you because like when a vinyl is thicker than a thinner piece of vinyl, that thinner vinyl has a serious chance of being warped. As where the thicker vinyl, it's heavier. There's less of a chance of it being warped when you take it home from the store. I always used to check my records when I was a kid before I left the record store. I'd be like, once I bought it, I'd be like, can you take this out and check it for warp? And they'd say yeah. And if it was warped, guess what? They'd give me another one right there on the spot. But it's hard to do that today. Like you can't if you're at a Barnes and Nobles, right, and you're in the music section and you buy a record and you go up to the guy and you be like, can you check to see if this is warped? He's gonna be like, dude, we don't have a record player here. You can buy a ticket home and check it out. If there's a problem, bring it back. Not the same thing. First of all, they don't have another replacement. They probably just had the one. But Larry, how would you know that? Oh, because I've shopped at Barnes and Nobles before? Yes. But they have a hell of a Lego section there. I'm sure they have many flower Lego sets for your girlfriends to buy and play with you on Valentine's Day. Hey Larry, what are you drinking tonight? Not coffee. I'm drinking shits and giggles. That's what I'm drinking. 100 grams is the best. See, I'm like, I wanted to say something. I was going to say 180, but I was thinking in terms of a frisbee. Because, like, when I look at frisbees, I used to be really into ultimate frisbee when I was little, when I was like 13, and I used to play it a lot at camp. So frisbees that weighed 180 grams that were heavier were better. They were better discs for whipping hard in the air and stuff like that. So you wanted a 180-gram weight frisbee. If you got one of the lighter ones, that wasn't good. Yeah. I'll tell you what album I did rebuy in the last couple of years was Led Zeppelin 3 when they did the remasters and stuff and did the add-ons. I bought Led Zeppelin 3 on vinyl because I love playing with the spinning wheel on the front cover. You know, on Led Zeppelin 3, you can spin it and make the picture a little bit different because they have all the holes where, like, you know, sometimes you can make Jimmy Page's face appear and then other time you make it go away and then something else. And if you had Led Zeppelin 3 as a record, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because when it opened, the first one had this, like, little wheel that you could play with and make different things with the art on the front record cover. That was when it was art and music intersected. All right, here's another thing from the past. Tycho cars. Or who is a fan of Tycho cars versus Lionel train sets? Who played with what? We had both in our house. My brother was really into slot car racing when we were little. So we had like a shit ton of Tycho track and a shit ton of Tycho cars. Some obviously the cars were more expensive than other cars. If you bought like an AFX car, wasn't as expensive as the Tycho brand car. Or if you bought a certain Tycho brand, like a certain model, like the HP7 or the 440s, were more expensive than the average Tycho car. Those were a little bit more money. Or if you wanted, God, I forgot what the fuck. There's this one type of car, I forgot what it's called, but it's really fast and I think they were made by GE and they weren't made by Tycho. They weren't made by AFX. They were a little offshoot brand and they were really expensive. My brother bought one way back when, and it was the only one that we ever had in both of our collections, because it was probably back then, it was probably like a $20 or $30 car, and this would have been back in like the late 70s, early 80s, where most of them were $10 to $15, I think, in most cases. Yeah, the Sticky Fingers record, Evan. Home Noodler. Awesome. Wow, Mr. Bubby V, that's cool. That's expensive, though. Like, I think, like, seeing a record for $40 today, like, gives me a stomach ache. Like, it seriously, like, puts a pain in my chest. Because I was coming, like, I'm sure some of you, this is true as well. I was coming from a place where I grew up, and I bought records for $7 or $8 a piece. A double album was $16. Now, a double record is close to $50, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's some serious fucking inflation, man. I mean, it's only 40 years, but hell. 40 years, man! My mom had an original pressing of the Hard Day's Night, and I used to listen to it when we lived in Chicago. And I remember like dancing around on my brother's bed to Hard Day's Night. And I remember taking out the record, and it was all scratched to fucking hell. My mom did not take care. I said, girl, what do you expect? Sorry, girls. But I mean, like, that was the difference between, like, a girl growing up and a guy growing up, taking care of their records. Like, guys were extreme. Like, my brother handled his vinyl extremely anal when we were, like, 13 and 16 years old. My brother was older. He had a driver's license, so we could go to, like, but we lived in Wilmette. We'd drive over to, like, a used record store the next town over, which was Evanston. Some of you may be familiar with the town of Evanston. It's probably in a John Hughes movie. Anyways, by the way, I grew up where John Hughes shot all of his movies. Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller, Uncle Buck, all that shit was shot on the North Shore of Chicago where I grew up. Anyways, yeah, I mean, so you have to understand the way like I'm looking at the whole record thing is like I think it's really costly and on a hand, and I just can't like start buying records again at this point in my life. I'm like, it's got to be like a really special record or like some new artist like Teddy Swims where I don't have any of his music, and I'm like, I'll buy his record, sure, why not? He's got a great voice. I like hearing him sing. This would be nice to listen to on vinyl. And you know what? I was right about that. It was a great call. Both of his records are really good. Uncle Buck, what a classic. I liked Home Alone better. My favorite John Hughes films are like Home Alone, Weird Science, 16 Candles, and Breakfast Club. I do not, Mr. Bubby V. I absolutely do not. But I guarantee you, it's probably more than what you just said earlier. So, you love Cliffs of Dover? Well, that makes one of us. You should check out my friend on here, Donald Mattingly. He plays it. I don't play it because I can't play it. Here's the coolest thing that I can play. That's it. It ain't gonna get cooler than that, man. Sorry. The white color. How about the white album? All right. So how long go? Oh, we've been going for an hour and a half. Really? Oh shit. Okay. I didn't expect to go that long. Hey man, please one Scorpions. I don't know any Scorpions, man. But they did a cover of I Can't Explain by The Who. Got a feeling inside, can't explain it, certain kind, can't explain. Feel hot and cold, can't explain, yeah, down my soul, yeah, can't explain. What about Mr. Bubby? What about like when they do free record day, like they do free comic book day? Um, do you think those records ever end up being worth something, or are they just lost leaders to get you into the store in general? I always wondered about that. Like on like I always go to the comic book store on Free Comics Day, or I try to, because I try and kind of meet up with some friends for like socializing at the comic book shop, like I did this afternoon. But I was actually able to find a few things. Oh, I found actually something for you guys that grew up like I did. There's one comic you're gonna really appreciate that I grabbed today. Thundar the Barbarian. That's cool. It was already on a board, bag and board. And I'm an Archie fan, so of course I had to get this. I'm like, oh my god, I cannot pass this up. And I like Sabrina with Archie, and so I'm always like looking at this stuff too. So those were my grabs today. Mr. Bubby, collecting comics is just like collecting records, dude. I don't buy vintage comics. I think like it's too much money to get involved in. Yeah, I love Thunder, man. I really hope that they make it into a live action movie. You know why Thundar went off the air? Repressed albums are the cheapest to buy. Yeah, that doesn't. Fritz the Cat. Oh my God, Evan Kelly. Do you know that that's on Amazon Prime right now? Thanks, Mr. Bubby. Hobbies are expensive, but you know what? Comic books aren't that bad because you can buy a book for $5 and whatever out the door. That's actually a relatively cheap hobby. If you only buy like one or two comics, a week or whatever, that's a relatively inexpensive hobby. It's when you start buying multiple books every week and it starts becoming like, instead of $5 or $10, it starts becoming $20 or $30. Then you're looking at, roughly a habit that costs you, 30 times 4 is $120 a month. Now you're spending on comics. Whoa, that got out of hand really fast. Yeah, why did it? Oh, because you started buying vintage comics and collecting vintage comics. That's why. You just weren't buying the new releases now. I don't do that. I just stick to the new releases. Once in a while, I'll buy an old one, but only if it's like not more than $5 or $10. Yeah, I mean, I actually have some comics right now in my collection that I bought, for whatever, $4 or $5. They're now worth $80. It's stupid, and they're only like, maybe 12 years old. I don't know. It's. I had no idea that some of these comics that I own were starting to balloon in price. I was just like, wow, I can't believe somebody's selling this for $80 on eBay. The third Superman comic in a frame, that'd be worth some bucks. Not as much as the first number one, but definitely worth some money. Probably at least several $100,000, if not $250,000. Yeah, heavy metal are cool. Never really got into that comic, but I know of it. I mean, I've saw the movie, for crying out loud. Wow. I mean, do you guys have any idea how much I spend at the range, the pistol range that I go to every week? Do you guys have an understanding of how much ammo costs and how much it costs to take a lesson every week and then go practice and like belong to a place where you can go and practice, like, you know as far as like shooting as a hobby, that's not an inexpensive hobby. That's an expensive hobby. It's not as expensive as, say, golf, but it's fucking expensive. You just got 1,000 rounds 3 days ago. How much was that for 1,000 rounds? 9 mil? Farmer Noah, how much was that? Do you mind me asking? I love 22, Evan. I practice 22 because it's cheaper. Whenever I go shoot on my off time, I'm always bringing my SIG P322 with me, and it's a compact. I love it. And like, you know, I have no problem with buying, you know, 100 rounds for $13 or $12 or whatever it is. CCI, can't go wrong with it. $250 with tax. That sounds very reasonable to me. When you figure, who is it by? Was it MagTech? Yeah, 6 Hour makes good firearms. I also like Canik. Canik and Smith & Wesson are my go-to. The P322 is the only SIG I have. Otherwise, I use Smith & Wesson and Caniks. Yes, if you, Mr. Bubby's correct. If you use a better grain, like I tend to use 48 or 40 grains on the 22s. 38 or 36 with hollow points, they suck. 250 for 1,009 mil rounds is fucking awesome. Think about it. Like, the average cost of 50 is, I think, $13 or $14. So think about it. If you have 13 goes into, or 14 goes into 250, how many times? That's how many boxes you would get. Get a press and make your own. God, I couldn't do that. I just saw like a 10-shot 22 revolver that I thought was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I forgot who it was by, but I was just like, oh man, that's cool. I like the idea of that. And this guy was just fucking nailing everything on his range with the 22. I'm like, I don't know, that looks pretty fucking deadly. Like, you fuck somebody else's shit up with that. That's what I'm thinking. Because my SIG P322, there's 20 rounds in that clip. So, it's the swarm of bees effect. I'm gonna fucking nail you, and I'm gonna nail you fucking good. Like, you are not gonna want to keep coming, especially with a 20-round mag. And that SIG likes to go fast. I've noticed that about that trigger. Of course, triggers can be replaced, right? We can make a slight weapons modification. I don't own any like rifles or shotguns or anything like really heavy duty. I grew up shooting 22 rifles at camp from the age of like 10 until I was like 15, 16. So that's kind of where my sort of love for that comes into play. And it's funny, when I was a kid at overnight camp, this is a funny story. We used to put I don't know, whoever came up with this brain fucking idea. I'm saying it facetiously because it was just the dumbest fucking thing of all time. When you hear me tell it, you're gonna say, "Whoa, I can't believe that they did that." Yeah, it's a major liability, and I'll tell you why. So we used to put the targets enclosed in these metal casings, and the metal casings, it was like a frame. So you just slid the target in there and put like a nail in the back to hold the target in place. But all around the metal frame, you could see like all these bullet indentations, like where campers had shot the frame. It was just like the whole entire frame was just marked to hell. Okay, so it's metal. What happens when you shoot a bullet at metal? What happens? Where does it go? It ricochets, right? It was rhetorical. So, little Larry one day, we'd get 5 bullets at a time. is what they'd give the campers. Little Larry hit the metal frame, and the bullet came back, and I hit 4 or 5 campers with my bullet fragments. After that, they changed out. they got rid of the metal frames, and then put up a wood plank across. So you just, when you walk down to put up your target, you just taped your target up to the wood plank now. Yeah, that was fucking safer. That's what I said. Like, when I tell you that we put the paper targets inside of a metal frame, and there were bullet indentations all around the metal frames, like, it was just a matter of time. And I couldn't be the first camper that a bullet ricocheted and came back and hit a bunch of campers. That's all I'm saying. And no, nothing ever happened to me. I did get a standing ovation at dinner because one of the kids I hit, nobody liked at camp. So when I walked in the mess hall that night, I got a standing ovation. It wasn't one of my finest moments in life. Yeah, thank you. But whatever. Yes. Let's all stand and clap at the 11-year-old that accidentally shot a bunch of campers due to metal enclosures because his bullet ricocheted off. So I just want to get this straight. The riflery instructor didn't ever say to the camp director, "Hey man, you know, I noticed that you put the targets encased around a metal frame, and there's bullet indentations all over these metal frames. Do we think like this is a good idea? Because I'm going to tell you that what happens to a bullet when it hits metal, it ricochets. And that's a liability. And somebody's going to get shot." That's what the riflery instructor should have told the camp director. But this was 1981, 82. And things were a little looser back then. I love SRV, man. I got to see him twice. I mean, I don't even want to tell you guys about the summer that there was only like 68 campers, which was like my 3rd summer there. Like, camp fullness was supposed to be at like 120 kids. We had 68. Every day, there were no planned activities. They were like telling us campers that were there, if you could find a counselor and get adult supervision, you could go do the activity. Seriously. That was like the deal after breakfast. And what was supposed to happen was you were supposed to have like 2 periods of activities in the morning and then 2 periods of activities after lunch. That never happened anytime that year. They acted like it was after the 2 afternoon activities. We had at 4 o'clock there was general swim from 4 to 5. You could go do anything you want. You didn't have to go down and swim. You could go do anything you want as long as you found a counselor to supervise your activity. I would always go look for the riflery instructor because I always wanted to go shoot. And if I wasn't shooting, I was tossing around a frisbee with my the counselor who taught ultimate frisbee, because I could play hacky sack and frisbee with him. Well, please be careful with that, Farmer Noah. Like, seriously, take some care there. Okay, Daniel was up to no good with his message. What do you say? Can you play a Green Day song, please? I can't, because I haven't come around yet. But I don't know any Green Day, man. It's been a long time. Oh, okay. I'm getting a new holster for my Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. And dude, I live in Arizona. They give this shit out here like fucking candy at Halloween, okay? It's the Wild West out here, man. Seriously. Like, I can go into a store as long as my background check clears. They'll let me walk out with that piece. Right then and there. After I give them my digits. And by digits, I mean credit card. Yeah, well, I'll show you, dude. Yeah, that's it. But you don't have any, mass shootings like we do here in America for good reason. Because you guys nipped that in the bud. If your message was held for review, it's because you said some naughty shit you shouldn't have said. No. All right. Mr. Bubby V, you have the last call. Oh, he left. I'm sorry, I didn't catch him. Damn it. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up, too. It's late. And Cartoons and Serial Stream is going to be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So that'll be noon Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. if you're in Texas, and then 9 a.m. if you're in California, okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with me for an hour and a half or a little bit over. And it was very cool to talk about all the video games, play some guitar, and talk about firearms and everything else. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Evan Kelly. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you guys. Farmer Noah, be cool, be safe. Who else we got in? Mr. Bubby V, thank you. Let's see. I think it's about the same group of you all. Home Noodler, thank you for joining me. Jedi Hobbit, thank you for joining me. PCB, thank you. Dreaming is Goated, thank you. Brad Wilson, thank you. Wolf Gaming Agency, thank you. You guys all rocked. Thank you very much for all being in my dreams. Love you guys. So again, I'll catch you tomorrow. If anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Larry Soulcactus. And let's see, Patreon for my music, patreon.com/Larry Soulcactus. I got 16 tracks up there for sale. Still the best way to help me out and support the channel, though, is to send a sticker here in Super Chats. If you don't know what that is, it's the $ next to where you're typing in messages like I'm doing right now. It'll say, show your support for @Soulcactus19. So if you click that sign, you can go in there and then hit Super Chats. It'll give you an amount. You can put $1. Any amount helps. It's all good. If anybody wants to email for lessons or collaborations, you can hit me up at soulcactus19@gmail.com. For anything further, please subscribe. Please hit the like button and all that jazz. Until tomorrow morning, you guys have a good night. Thanks again. Love you guys for being in my dreams. Be good to yourselves. Be good to the ones around you. Hang loose. Be cool, guys. Sleep well. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace out. Bye-bye.